Alrighty, and away we go. This isn't so much a tour outfit like the rest have been so far, but more so an outfit inspired by her gingham top from the Taste music video. I actually tried something new and planned this out ahead of time to kind of get a feel of what I wanted. I took a photo and edited it a little bit on the same tablet I used to write these voiceovers. Little behind the scenes of sorts for you, I guess. But I digress. I wanted to get the exact font she used in her music video, but I couldn't find what it was online, so instead I just looked up a PNG of it and got this instead. Editing it a bit to make the back transparent and placed it where I wanted it to go so I would know what size I liked and wanted to print out. I knew it wouldn't be this color, but it's the best one that I could find online, and I originally wanted to come off the shirt a little bit at the bottom, like have hanging pieces. Once I saw that on my plan, I didn't actually like it. However, fast forward to later on, I planned out a secondary option in case the first one felt a little bit too plain, spoiler alert, with fake blood painting on it in the same way that hers is, being sure to add it around most of the letters, which comes in handy, and you'll see why in a minute, and also some in the seams of the top, like the booby area seams. Then I printed this bad boy off, which was the secondary photo I ended up finding, but it had a white background, so I didn't have to use as much ink as the first one to print it off. And away we go. I placed the print under the first layer of the shirt and then used my phone's flashlight to kind of just shine underneath each letter so I could properly see it. Using a red fabric marker to outline the letters. I decided to save you from having to see me do my first mistake, and that was initially I wanted to be this entire thing and then have some of those beads hanging down, as I said earlier, hence the off the shirt that I mentioned, but instead I decided on rhinestones. I tested it on the top of the tee to see if I liked it, and I did, so I continued. Placing down some red puffy fabric paint and actually using one end of a bobby pin to kind of disperse it a little bit more evenly and more into the skinnier portions of the letters. And then adding the red rhinestones on little by little. Literally the smallest were so tiny. And here we go. The idea of adding the fake blood around the letters suddenly seemed even better to me, as the air inside the fabric paint bottle spat out a few times in a not so ideal manner. Once those few letters dried though, and I got to see them and make sure the rhinestones weren't going to come off at their first chance that they got, I seam ripped the beads off and continued with all of the letters. you can tell by my opening clip, I didn't like this version enough to keep it like this. I did, however, film for it as if I did like it, and then I decided it was a little bit too simple for my liking and wasn't giving the vibe that I was hoping it would. So I went back in with a pencil crayon to map out where the fake blood would be, also using a reference photo from her music video. And then went in with some more of the red puffy fabric paint. That is a mouthful, I don't know why. I did use a different tone this time around though, so it wasn't exact, but fairly close. Adding a bunch down and using a paintbrush to kind of spread out the lines I had just made. As well as going up these seams a little bit. And adding a dry brush to the bottom edge and some splatters in a few places. Once that was dry, I undid the buttons. Oh my god. Okay. Painted them with acrylic paint, as the fabric paint doesn't paint buttons very well. Go figure. Also, I know I had previously tested and said that the rhinestones weren't coming off basically at their earliest convenience, but through the filming process before I went back in, like you've seen here, enough of them did come off to make me want to add a little bit of, let's say, extra reassurance, using fabric glue on top of them to keep them in place. And finally, with a Sharpie, but you definitely could use a fabric marker for this as well, I went over any discoloration left by the glue. And there you have it. That is it for today's video. I do hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you in my next one. Happy Halloween, guys. Oh my god. That was not on the plan.